If you were not familiar with Jesus, Buddha, or any religious figure, you would still have access to universal law, not law as punishment, law as structure, law as pattern, law as the invisible architecture that shows you what supports life and what collapses it. Ask yourself, what were you taught to believe? What does this choice organize inside you? What does this choice disorder inside you? Does this action increase coherence or fragmentation? Does this thought bring your field into harmony or distortion? Good is not just being nice. Good is alignment with higher order. Good is truth, clarity, responsibility, compassion, discipline, wisdom, and service functioning together. Evil is not just doing something bad. Evil is misuse of energy. It is intelligence without love, power without humility, desire without conscience, freedom without responsibility, knowledge without wisdom. You do not need a religious name to know when your energy is out of order. Your body tells you, your nervous system tells you, your relationships tell you, your peace tells you, your consequences tell you. When you lie, something fragments. When you manipulate, something darkens. When you betray yourself, something contracts. When you tell the truth, something aligns. When you forgive, something releases. When you serve, something expands. So your path is not blind belief. It is energetic engineering. You become the builder of your inner system. You observe what thoughts create chaos. You observe what behaviors leak power. You observe what emotions keep repeating because you have not learned the lesson. Then you redesign yourself, not through shame. Through precision, you ask, what part of me is still operating from fear? What part of me is confusing control with safety? What part of me is calling attachment love? What part of me is calling avoidance peace? What part of me is calling impulse freedom? That is how consciousness evolves. Positive is what integrates you. Negative is what fragments you. But do not confuse discomfort with negativity. A difficult truth can be positive because it restores alignment. A comfortable lie can be negative because it preserves distortion. A boundary can feel harsh but create peace. A temptation can feel sweet but create bondage. So the question is not, does this feel good right now? The question is, what does this become if I keep feeding it? That is wisdom. Live by refinement. Refine the thought. Refine the motive. Refine the emotion. Refine the action. Refine the pattern. Refine the identity until the person becomes less reactive and more intentional, less scattered and more coherent, less controlled by instinct and more guided by awakened intelligence. Without religion, you would still be responsible for your frequency. You would still be accountable for what you create. You would still be known by the energy you leave behind, not by what you claim, by what you generate. So choose the action that creates order in the soul. Choose the word that brings truth into the field. Choose the boundary that protects your evolution. Choose the love that does not abandon wisdom. Choose the discipline that protects your future self. Choose the silence that prevents unnecessary harm. Choose the courage that breaks the old program. That is good. Good is life organized through wisdom. Good is power governed by love. Good is freedom stabilized by responsibility. Good is truth expressed with compassion. And evil? Evil is consciousness refusing to evolve while demanding the benefits of light. You do not need to know the names of holy beings to walk a holy path. You only need to become honest enough to recognize what expands life and disciplined enough to stop feeding what destroys it.